All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode 15 of My Gateway Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. And the purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience tapes. There are a total of 6 waves, and I am currently on the first wave. And the tape that I'm on is the release and recharge tape. And today was my second day doing this tape. Yesterday was my first, and I'm going to do it for a total of 10 times. 10 days because I do it in the morning and at night. So, total of 10 days. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, do go ahead and check those out. That way you're caught up to speed and you know what's going on in this series. So let's jump right into it. Right now it's 9:33 a.m. I went to sleep last night at 11 p.m. and I woke up at 7:30. Yeah, so pretty much 2 hours later I'm recording this, which is right within schedule. I want to really shorten that time, but I don't want to stress myself out either, because of all the activities that I'm doing within those 2 hours of prep time. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to wake up at 5, and I'm going to keep doing my best to do that. My alarm went off. I went and picked up my phone, and then I went back to bed, and I dropped the phone on the ground. I was like, fuck that. But I mean, it's something that I can easily just get up and no big deal. And so that's what I will do in the future. But I went ahead and did my routine as usual. I spent some time with my kids as well, and just briefly here and there. And then I went ahead and took a cold shower after doing, that's what I just got out of and just did. But that was after doing my practice. So the tape called Release and Recharge. And I want to start out with just talking a little bit about intention. And really, when our intention is to remember and to look at our memories, it seems like that's what my brain has been flooded with uh, since yesterday and today, is just so many memories that I just didn't think about. I would like not even think about them at all. So I think it's very interesting. You know, so I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the practice. And so just went ahead and started and did my, um, it's not resonant energy breathing like I've been calling it. I just realized today it's called resonant tuning. But I went ahead and looked at my energy conversion box. Then I did my resonant tuning. And then I did my rebound with no guidance, all just doing it from all the times that I've done it before. And I did my affirmation before going into my focus 10. Yesterday, I didn't mention that you're supposed to go into focus 10, so I did that. And so I just did it by focusing on the number 10, by breathing in, holding my breath, and saying 10, 10, 10 in my head, and allowing my whole entire body to relax, fall asleep, and all that. So, but yeah, resonant tuning and going into the practice, it was interesting. It was, man, it was, it's hard to explain because, for example, like I did it last night, and I think last night was better than today, than this morning. When I did it last night, I went through and I did at least 3 memories. But today I kind of mixed memories and I did like one memory here and another memory there. But before that, I did go ahead and do my affirmation. And I'll say it now because I want to make sure I get it right. Because I haven't been like doing it word for word, but it doesn't have to be word for word. And I want it to be right now, at least as a good foundation. And then if I want to change it later on, I can. And the affirmation is, I am more than my physical body. And because I am more than physical matter, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such higher energies and energy frequencies as may be beneficial to me and to those near and close to me. Also, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience is greater than or equal to my own. And that's it. And so I did that, and then I went into my focus 10. And then um, as I went into my energies, it was and what I mean by my energy is the release and recharge, which is we just look at our energy conversion box, and then we look at something associated with fear, meaning a memory associated with fear, where we felt fear for one of the first times, and then we do two more after that. So I was mixing memories. I thought about like my childhood, but then at the same time, I thought about like when I was a teenager and I was like going into the garage and it was dark in the garage and I was afraid. And then, so that was like my fear. And then the emotion underlying beneath the fear was I felt like I was alone. So loneliness, no vulnerability, um, and uh, and then as I looked at the experience, I remember the way I coped with it in the past is I was like afraid of there being like, and this is very like as a teenager, obviously maybe most won't admit, but sometimes, and it wasn't even, it was like 12, maybe 13, so I wasn't like 17 or 18, at that point I was already over that. But going into the garage can be like, oh, is there somebody? What if there was somebody in here that I just didn't track or whatever, like. And so every time the way I coped with it was like, oh, I'll be the one that they should be scared of, you know, which looking back wasn't really the best reaction, in my opinion. I think it's much better to do what we do in this practice now is to replace that not with more fear, like not to be afraid and then to want to scare others, but more so like when we are afraid to just let go and realize that we're afraid and then understand, okay, maybe it's because I'm alone or whatever, and then understand that that's okay, that we're never really alone. That in this universe, the way it works is everything happens for a reason, and that we are all made of energy, and that we're never really alone. And so that's what I replaced it with. I replaced it with that clean energy of being like a child and just looking at the memory. And that was like one of the first ones. And I can't really say what I replaced it with. Um, but yeah, and then the second one and the third one, I just kind of chilled out. I allowed my body to just. I think mostly I focused on like realigning my spine and like going deeper into the focus 10 for today's practice. And last night, I mean, some of the memories, I don't even want to talk about them because it is really dark and it's just like my early childhood and also like even in my teenager years and also in like my early adulthood. I'm 25 now, and yeah, there's some of them that I just don't really want to share. If you guys really need me to share, if you want me to share, go ahead and comment down below, and I will probably go ahead and share if somebody really wants me to. But for the purpose of this practice, since I'm putting these on YouTube, I know what they are, and the whole purpose of it is to be able to remember and not associate any kind of emotion with it. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. This practice, I feel like, is going to be much more personal and also trial and error. There's going to be times where I don't remember clearly, but then at the same time, I'm flooded with so many memories that I just can't really pick one, you know? So, like, that's kind of what happened today, and it wasn't very clear and coherent, my thoughts. it was like I was kind of jumping ahead of the routine, and I was kind of jumping ahead of everything that we were doing in the practice of like focusing on the fear first and then the emotion and then replacing it. I was kind of just like focusing on the fear and then kind of maybe running away from it, even though they tell us to really focus on it, to really feel it, and then allow it to just dissipate and bubble away. I was kind of like jumping straight into the emotion underneath it. And then after I kind of identified the emotion underneath it, I was just like trying to replace it really quickly instead of actually feeling the emotion. I think that's going to be a challenge, and that's why it's going to require practice. But I think that's part of the practice here, as I've been kind of saying in these videos, is like, I really am grateful for this experience right now because it's really going through and balancing out my energies, my personal memories, and the way that I look back at my childhood and the way I look back at everything, which is a lot of the times the way we're going to create our future. So, unless we're fully present all of the time, which is just, it's possible, and this is how we get there. We get there by cleaning out that stuff that might come up and make us feel a certain way. We clean it up so that way when we think about it, we are still present. So I think that's going to wrap up this video. I think it's a shorter one. It was the 15th episode, and I'm looking forward to doing more of these. Tonight, I'll go ahead and do the practice, and then tomorrow, I will be recording the third day of the release and recharge practice. And so, with all that being said, until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.